right, Manuel, here's our aerospace engineer showing you some of the possible material options that we might want to tap into for the space habitat.
Howdy guys. So I know we just went over a lot over at least maintaining the energy systems. So one of the proposed solutions is actually introducing a new type of material that NASA is actually looking into so that we can make future buildings and stuff like that. So as you can see in the little picture, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a space habitat, especially on Mars or on the moon or somewhere? Some of you might think of like that movie The Martian, you know how it's living in these little capsules and stuff. Just recently, I know this team specifically on the right, so you see those big towers, that's a 3D printed tower based on the material that was used on Mars. And that's kind of the same direction we're trying to go to, except we want to bring something that we want to avoid something what's called turtling. And what that is you're basically bringing your home with you wherever you go. And what we're trying to do is we want to get there first and then make the materials. So this is where we introduce something that's called mycelium. And what mycelium is, it's basically the roots that mushrooms grow on. And with that, we're able to manipulate exactly how they grow so that they can make bricks and building blocks so that we can actually grow the material rather than taking it with you towards your destination. And not only can it be used to make buildings and stuff, it can also be used to make furniture, anything that's complex in terms of geometry. It can also be used as insulation for the space habitats. One of the important features is it's self-extinguishing. So if it catches on fire, which is a big issue, especially when you're locked in a capsule in space with nobody else to help you around, you need these types of materials that can, take care of themselves. And since it's technically a living organism, if it gets hurt or if it gets broken, it can easily repair its conjoining bonds and regrow anything that it lost. So one of the pros, as you can see here, has lots of pros, but same thing, a lot of cons. Compared to a regular brick, it's very weak. So 28 megapascals is the weight that it can resist versus 0.2 megapascals. However, it is 60 times lighter than a regular weight, and it is more efficient in terms of pound per pound. Another thing that people don't like about it is the first thing that comes to mind when people think of mushrooms is fungi, and people associate that with mold and other undesirable characteristics. So it's definitely something you want to look into, and it will definitely help us in the long run because it's a lot easier than having to take in 3D printed material rather than having it it'll be a lot easier just growing it in space or somewhere else, because that's another thing about the mycelium is that it grows a lot more efficient when it's in zero gravity, as seen by some studies that were performed by NASA.